Welcome back. Now, the Prime Minister of Australia, Mr. Anthony Albanese, is in India. He arrived in Ahmedabad yesterday, was part, of course, of the border Gavaskar Trophy proceedings this morning in Ahmedabad. And now he's made his way very close to Mumbai, sat in a light combat helicopter on board the INS Vikrant off the coast of Mumbai. The Australian Prime Minister, Mr. Albanese, is on board India's first indigenous aircraft carrier, the INS Vikrant. This is extremely significant, of course, given the fact that Australia is also part of the Quad along with Japan as well as the United States, and has also been part of the Malabar exercises, the naval exercises, since 2020. So this is a very significant moment, which of course captures the depth of the strategic relationship as well that these two countries share. Let me in fact go across to my colleague Shivani Sharma, who's been tracking these proceedings. Shivani, explain the importance of the visit of Mr. Anthony Albanese to INS Vikrant, given the fact that we're all members of the Quad as well, along with Japan and the US, and Australia in the past has taken part in the Malabar naval exercises with India too.
See, it's very significant when the Australian Prime Minister has visited INS Vikrant, India's pride, the first indigenous aircraft carrier. And as we know that Australia is also a part of the Quad, and with Australian Navy, Indian Navy has been conducting several exercises for interoperability and also to send a strong message to China in the Indo-Asian region, where it has been trying to flex its muscle. So when a Prime Minister from a different country visits India, and then when he visits INS Vikrant, it actually is a very significant move. It is a message to the whole world that India and Australia are moving ahead in their comprehensive strategic military partnerships. And we'll see a lot happening in the coming months also between Australia and India in terms of the military cooperation exercises and also the naval exercises. So today, when Prime Minister Albanese has got himself clicked sitting in the LCA, that is again a Swadeshi fighter jet of India that has been making operations. It has been taking off and landing from INS Vikrant amid sea. So it also means a lot that the world is lauding India's Atmanirbharta and its self-reliance, which is coming in every move, be it the IAC Vikrant or the LCA, which has been placed on INS Vikrant.
And Shivani, the relationship that India and Australia have shared has acquired a serious strategic dimension now. Like you rightly said, there's a convergence in points of view with respect to the apprehension on both part of both countries about growing Chinese expansionism in the...
Also in the G20, we've been seeing this in the conversations with Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh when the Prime Minister of Australia is visiting India. He is in India. He's on board INS Vikrant. The same time, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has made a telephonic call to the Defence Minister of Australia, Richard Marles, and that also shows that how deeply both these countries are working together, and especially in the maritime security domain, the free and open Indo-Pacific region, which both these countries along with America and Japan also intend to open and to send a message to China. So certainly when on the INS Vikrant, Prime Minister of Australia is on board, it shows that not only in terms of military cooperation, but diplomatically, and
Yes.
The navies of both the countries are working ahead, working together and giving a strong message to China, in fact.
Right, Shivani. In fact, let's also listen into what the Prime Minister of Australia, Mr. Albanese, had to say about his visit to INS Vikrant.
And we share an unwavering commitment to upholding the rules-based international order and ensuring that Indo-Pacific is open, inclusive and prosperous. I'm pleased to report that there's never been a busier or more productive time in our defence and security partnership. Last year we conducted more exercises, operations and dialogues than ever before. And today I've been very proud to meet with the naval officers and personnel here on this magnificent aircraft carrier who participated in exercises with the Australian Navy in recent times. In a major step forward in our relationship, India and Australia undertook maritime patrol aircraft deployments to each other's territories for the first time. In November alone, we conducted increasingly complex and sophisticated exercises in Indo-Pacific Endeavour and Exercise Austrahar. This was capped off by Exercise Malabar, where we bolstered our military interoperability with India alongside close.
So that was the Australian Prime Minister, Mr. Anthony Albanese, speaking on board INS Vikrant a short while ago. We have to take a short break for now. A lot more lined up for you on the other side. You're not going.